Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the one and only Neil Magny up against Gilbert Burns at UFC 283. This should be an absolute belter at welterweight. Have you guys been linked to be fighting each other for a long time? Has this been on the cards? You both kind of welterweight gangsters. You're two of the best in this class for a long time now. So has this been coming?
No, this is just literally an opportunity presented itself. I knew the card in Brazil was coming up. I was coming off a big win over Dan Rodriguez. I know he was looking to get right back into it and fight down here in Brazil. So after that big win, I shot my shot with the UFC and see if I can make this fight happen. A couple of things kind of worked in my favor as far as opponents go for availability. And here we are. A couple months later, I'm fighting Gilbert Burns.
Because you're ranked behind him, a lot of people saying like, he was after a guy above him. So you've fought guys ranked behind you many times. But how do you feel about people saying he deserved to fight somebody higher?
At the end of the day, you take the fights presented to you. I mean, at this point, everyone who's ranked in the top five, everyone's ranked above him, is coming off of a win. So he had a choice to make. It was either he sits out and waits for one of those guys to lose, and then eventually fight them, or he fights me and tries to make an opportunity for him to fight one of those ranked guys above him. I mean, it just kind of like I said earlier, just one of those opportunities where things kind of lined up perfectly for me to get this opportunity to fight Gilbert Burns, and I took advantage of it. I definitely shot my shot and was like, "Hey, I'm ready for it. I want this fight. I'm prepared for it." And things lined up and it worked out great.
At the same time, for you to walk into enemy territory in Brazil against a guy, I think seven spaces above you, what's that like? And what does that showcase about your character?
For me, it's great. I mean, I'm not afraid of anyone in this division. I'm willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, and I'm here to prove just that. I mean, I know I'm coming down in quote unquote hostile territory, but this is not a position I haven't been in before. I'm completely well aware of what to expect from the crowd, what to expect from the fans at the arena. I know everything that comes with fighting down here in Brazil, so I'm 100% ready for all the adversity and all that comes with it. I mean, this is my fourth time fighting down here in Brazil. It's nothing I haven't seen before, nothing I haven't experienced before. So I'm ready to go out there and make a statement.
How much did that win against Rodriguez mean to you to get the Darth choke? I think that was that your first finish since 2018. It's so difficult to put guys away at this level of the division, but you brought it home in fashion.
For me, not only
Sorry.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was definitely important for me to get the win over Dan Rodriguez. It was just a time delay there. But yeah, it was definitely important to get that win over Dan Rodriguez, not just like go out there and beat him, or go out there and finish him. I mean, especially with some of the comments he made fight week about being a gatekeeper and such like that. So for me, it was kind of like an opportunity for me not just to go out there and win, but get the finish, get the TKO, get the KO, get the submission win. Just to kind of prove to myself with the fans that I am actually a competitor. I'm actually one of the guys that will be fighting for a title here soon. So I had to go out there and make a statement against Dan Rodriguez, and I did just that.
Where do you see this fight with Gilbert going? We all know about his jiu-jitsu, but his striking's pretty good too. We know how well-rounded you are. So where does the fight get won and lost, in your opinion?
My opinion should be all out war. This fight, the only way I lose this fight is by quitting. So for me, it's to go out there, me and Senor Octagon, and give it everything that I got. And put a pace on them and be relentless and just throw literally everything I have from wrestling, striking, grappling, literally give them all that I've got. And I guarantee I could break this man and get a TKO finish or even a submission, surprise the world.
What did you make of his clash with Khamzat? Did you think it was a fair result? Were you impressed with what he delivered?
I was definitely impressed with the fight with Hamzat. Like he went out there and really showed what he got. I mean, like you said, being a veteran of the sport, going against these young guys, like to go out there and literally leave it all on the line. I had nothing but respect for him and what he showed in that fight. And for me, watching that fight as a competitor, it just kind of like up the stake for me. I know what's at stake now with a guy going out there when the fighting guy comes out and doesn't have a single ounce of quitting in him. And it was going to take to beat a guy like that. And for me, seeing that fight was just kind of one of the most motivating things ever. It was just like, okay, cool. This is the guy that's going to bring. He's going to give it its all, and I can't afford to go in there and just kind of take it for granted or take it lightly. I know I have to go in there and literally give it all that I got to get the job done against him. So watching that fight was definitely like me sitting back, like, wow, this guy's a real deal. Even though he didn't get the win, it definitely showed his character, his willingness to go out there and fight anyone, and just how far he's willing to go to win the fight.
What are your thoughts on Khamzat? Is he as big a monster as he's cracked up to be? If you beat Gilbert, it's very likely you could be facing him soon.
Yeah, I mean, I got an opportunity to train Hamzat over Thanksgiving break, and there was one of those moments where like I was kind of poking the wolf, so to speak. And, here in the U.S., there's a funny saying that goes around saying "fuck around and find out." Going out there and poking the wolf, I definitely fucked around and found out. Like Hamza is definitely the real deal. He definitely is a very talented fighter. And again, absolute truth, and just shows how tough this fight against Gilbert Burns is going to actually be.
A lot of people saying that Colby Covington is the perfect fight for him next. Is that what you think would be, as somebody who's up there in the division? Do you like that fight? Do you like that matchup?
Honestly, I like any kind of movement in the welterweight division. I mean, the history of the division has just been very stagnant. There's been a lot of like waiting around for the perfect matchups, perfect opportunities, and that kind of thing. Especially when you get closer and closer to the top five. So for me, um, any kind of movement towards a fight is a great fight for me. As long as the guys are out there being competitive, being active, fighting one another, that's a step in the right direction for me.
What's your toughest opponent? I feel like you fought a who's who. Who's the toughest? I'm sure you get asked it a lot.
Not to say who's one of the toughest ones I fought, it would definitely be Hector Lombard. That dude definitely hits like a truck. I mean, I 1 second I'm looking at him, next second I'm on the ground, just kind of like trying to remember how he got down there, and here he is just raining more punches from top. So he was definitely one of the toughest opponents that I fought ever. I mean, his explosiveness, how hard he hit, how well rounded he was. He definitely gave me the most difficult in any fight I've ever had.
I think he's a bit crazy as well. He scares me. He wants to fight with machetes one day, he said. So, I mean,
I believe it. I literally believe it. That man is not sane. I mean, granted, I was definitely poking the bear going into that fight. I said some things about him and his character that he kind of took personal, and it definitely showed out. It came out that it showed me how pissed off he was, and it was pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie.
who's winning the trilogy, Edwards or Usman?
I'm gonna have to go with Usman in this one. I mean, he was winning the last fight, and just one mistake cost him everything. And I feel like he's definitely gonna make the right adjustments, go out there and get it done. I mean, even though the fight's gonna be London and everything else like that, I feel like Usman's gonna definitely go out there and get his belt back for sure.
We're going to wrap this up with a little quick fire, if it's okay with you, about some of your UFC colleagues. So, who is the hardest hitter?
The hardest hitter currently, oh man, I would have to say Ngannou, but he's probably not technically in the UFC anymore. But I would definitely say Ngannou. If not, second would definitely be Drew Dober.
Good choice. Nice. Who's the best wrestler?
Um, man, uh, in my perspective, just based off the sheer numbers, would have to be Curtis Blades. I mean, the guy's yet to be taken down in the UFC. I think he's just a couple takedowns away from holding the all-time record for takedowns at heavyweight. So just based off the sheer numbers alone, just seeing and getting it done against the opponents he got done against me, it's not an easy task to take down those big boys at heavyweight. So I'll definitely have to ride with Curtis Blades being the best wrestler in the UFC.
Who's the funniest?
Now this is a good one because it's been especially with Twitter and TikTok recently, been a lot of guys just kind of like turned into online comedians, so to speak, and it's been hilarious to sit back and watch. I mean, Jamal Hill would definitely be up there, one of the fun guys in the division. The most recent skit that literally had me dying laughing was Jaquan Buckley. The most recent skit that he did in response to Razak's call out of him. That was definitely one of the funniest videos or TikToks I've seen in a while. So between Jamal Hill and Jaquan Buckley, they're probably the two funniest guys in the UFC right now.
Who's the most annoying?
Oh man. Oh man. Covington would easily take that, but he's been kind of quiet for the last few weeks or last few months. So it's kind of hard to uh, say that he's not. But man, who else tops him? Let's say I have a hard one. uh, Yeah, I think I'll have to be Covington at the end of the day, as far as the most annoying guy in UFC.
Who's the hottest?
The hottest? That's quite interesting one to answer. I'm gonna have to start going back to that one.
All right. Who would you most like to have dinner with?
um, Honestly, just based off of just active fighters or just UFC fighters in general.
Let's go active fighters.
Okay. Um, well, up until this whole gambling situation, I would have said James Krause just because of his involvement in a lot of different things. The guy's very business minded. Like he gets involved with a lot of different things as far as like investing in other avenues outside of fighting. Like the guy was involved in real estate, he was involved in commercial real estate, he's involved with running the gym, doing all these other different things. So I feel like dinner with him would actually give me a pretty good perspective of good investment opportunities. But with the state of the things right now, I might shy away from that dinner just a little bit. But hopefully he comes out on top at the end of this investigation, and that dinner can't happen. I can pick his brain on a lot of different things.
Who's the best dressed?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, I would have to go down with probably Usman. The guy definitely steps it up in the flash department. I mean, he'll wear anything from uh over the top US designers to just full on Wakanda outfits to press conferences and fights. So I'll definitely have to ride Usman with that.
Who has the coolest tattoos?
Darren Elkins and a damage tattoo on the chest. Like it's just so crazy to see a tattoo that's so bizarre, so out there, but yet fits a person so well. Like like you look at that tattoo on papers, like who would get a tattoo like that? And you kind of like zoom out from the tattoo, and it's like, oh, Darren Elkins. That tattoo makes 100% sense now.
That's an amazing answer. Who would you most like by your side in a street fight?
Um, if I had to pick, it'll be John Jones. Just sheer ability alone would definitely speak for itself. The other part is just like he's one of those guys that I think will actually show up. If it wasn't John Jones or if it wasn't active UFC fighters, I would second Jake Shields. Jake Shields is literally a ride or die. Like that dude is ready to throw down at any given moment. I mean, if you're one of Jake Shields' friends, he's in your corner, whatever else. The man's very to scrap at any given moment just to protect you and protect your honor, so to speak. So if it was an active fighter, it would be Jake Shields. Current active fighter would be John Jones.
Great answers. And who's the most interesting female fighter?
Most interesting. Um, that's an interesting one. It's weird because everyone has their own bit of like interests or things that are out of the box that they bring to the table. But I have to pick one in particular. Um, I'd probably say Miranda Maverick. I mean, she's just into so many different things. I mean, you find out something new about her every single day. Like one day you'll realize, like, oh wow, she's currently in school pursuing a PhD, and then like a week later you find out that she's actually an artist and she's doing like these different uh paintings for different people and that kind of thing. And then like a week later you find out that she's a fighter, and then a week later you find out that she breeds animals, and then her family owns a farm, and then just like more and more facts you find about her, the more you get to know about her. And I think that's just so interesting. I mean, she is literally involved in anything you can think of, from agriculture to education to fighting to just literally everything you can imagine she's involved in. And that's pretty cool to me.
That is cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
last one is dream fight, past or present, any weight class.
Dream fight right now, who has the current welterweight champion. So for me, a dream fight would be fighting in London 2 months from now. Literally go out to get the job done Saturday night. A bunch of things kind of fall into place. And next thing you know, I'm fighting Leon Edwards for the title in London next in a couple months. That would be ideal dream fight. I mean, go out there, fight for a title, win the title. That's always the highest on my agenda, and for me, that's always the top goal. So, if I had a dream opportunity for things to line up, it would definitely be that.
Stranger things have happened. It's a crazy sport. Anything can happen, man. So good luck for this one. Good luck on the weekend. Maximum respect and thanks for the time.
Awesome. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.